Sometimes the biggest day of your life isn't about what you've achieved, but what you're brave enough to leave behind. It was a day she had waited for. Cap, gown, shoes too stiff, hair too perfect. Her name was Isla Mendez, and today was her graduation day. A sea of students sat in blue robes under a sky so wide it felt like possibility itself. The crowd cheered as names were called one by one. Cameras clicked. Grandparents waved with both hands. Confetti floated like memory, and yet Isla didn't feel like cheering. Not because she wasn't proud. She had worked hard for years of good grades, late-night essays, school plays, science fairs, student council. She had done everything right. But now that it was here, the big moment, the celebration, the so-called end and beginning, something inside her felt unfinished. The ceremony rolled on. Isla sat on the edge of her chair, her name only minutes away from being called. Her parents, dressed in their best, sat in the front row, eyes shining. Her younger brother waved a homemade sign that said, "You did it." She smiled. But it didn't reach her eyes, because in the quiet part of her heart, something kept whispering, "You're not walking toward what you want. You're walking toward what they expect." Rewind 6 months. Isla had secretly applied to an art conservatory. Not a big university, not law, not medicine, art. Drawing had always been her refuge, her joy, her truth, but she never told her parents, not even her best friend, because the world had already made up its mind about who she was supposed to be. She got in, a letter, a scholarship, a chance, and she buried it in her closet, like a secret too wild to exist. Back in the present, the announcer called Isla Mendez, applause. She stood, walked to the stage, took the diploma with practiced grace, smiled for the camera, but instead of returning to her seat, Isla turned toward the mic. Her principal looked confused. She stepped forward anyway and spoke. "I'm honored to stand here today," she began, voice clear. "I want to thank my family, my teachers, everyone who helped me get here." There were nods and smiles. "But I need to be honest." The crowd hushed. "I was accepted to Stanford, but I won't be going." Gasps. "I also got accepted to an art conservatory in New York, and that's where I'm going." Now silence. My parents don't know. Until now. Isla looked out at her mother, whose eyes were wide, and her father, whose hands were gripping the arms of his seat. "But if this is the day we celebrate growth and courage, then this is mine." She turned back to the mic. "I want my life to be mine, my joy to be mine. And today, I graduate not just from school but from fear." She placed the diploma down on the podium and walked off stage. For one breathless moment, the crowd didn't know what to do. Then, applause, louder than before. Some stood, some cried. But Isla, she just smiled. This time, it reached her eyes. Later that evening, her parents sat with her on the front porch. Her father said nothing at first. Then, quietly, "New York? Huh." She nodded. Her mother exhaled. "We were scared. Not disappointed?" "I was scared," to Isla whispered. Then her dad said something she would never forget. "You didn't fail us, Mia. You reminded us that dreams don't have to look the same." And so, Isla packed for New York, not because it was easy, but because it was true. She traded honor cords for a university brochure for a blank canvas. And as the train pulled away from the station, she didn't look back. She looked forward, because sometimes the bravest thing you can do on graduation day isn't walking across the stage. It's stepping off it into your own story.